Hi, I'm Mary Larkin, and I was greatly honored to have won the Mary C. Mohr Fiction Award presented by Southern Indiana Review this past year, and I'm still very thrilled about that. So I'd like to tell you a little bit about this story, and then I'm going to read two excerpts for you. The story is about Carl, who lives in Maine and has suffered a traumatic brain injury. He's come home to an unloving wife after being in a coma in the hospital for quite some time. They weren't sure if he would live at all or what he would be like if he did live. But he has come back to an unwelcoming home to his wife, Faye, their two sons who are older, and his beloved hunting dog, Ruby. So the first section that I'll read to you, Faye and the boys have helped him go upstairs, but instead of going to their bedroom, she's moved all of his things into the guest room down the hall. So he is confused, he's had a brain injury, and he feels addled, but also disconcerted that his wife doesn't want him in their bedroom. The old wooden floor creaked as he made his way to the bright windows, their lace curtains unfit for a man. He pushed them aside and took a long look out over his property. His property. This was his place, his house, his land. He would not be pushed aside. His truck was parked below, next to the boys' huge Suburban that overshadowed it, and beyond, the fields spread out until they reached the woods, his woods, the woods and fields he hunted in, first as a boy hunting with his father, then as a father with his own boys, now he and his sons, the three of them, as men. Dove, quail, wild turkey, deer. Hadn't he always taken the deer down the road to Ed, who skinned the animal and dressed the meat, taking the meat from the animal's flanks? Hadn't he cut the heads from the bird and duck before bringing them in, gutted them and cleaned them himself? The fish, too. He had spared Faye those realities of providing fresh meat for the table. He'd sheltered her, provided for her, and the boys. What had she to complain of? So, Carl is trying to rebuild his strength. He was greatly weakened by the accident, and he's decided to start walking his land and reconnecting with the earth that means so much to him, his property. So he's come in, he spent his first night at home, and now we begin again. And that next day and the day after, and every day, he would take Ruby for walks, long walks, exploring his fields and woods, looking over his land, listening to the birds or watching the waterfowl, the heron, the duck, the geese flying overhead towards the nearby pond, hoping to spy the deer or maybe a fox now and then, all the while building his strength. And the feeling and knowledge of belonging came back to him slowly but surely. He knew this earth, this place, with its animals, its life. This was his life, the very breath of him.